Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another video of Chem Solve. Today we are going to solve 0621 0620/21 May June 2025. This is Cambridge IGCSE multiple choice paper 2. Today we will inshallah solve part 2 of this paper, and it is from question number 21 till question 40. So let's start the paper. Okay. Question number 21. Question number 21 says the properties of the element changes from left to right across the periodic table. Which statement describe how the properties changes across period 3? Now we have to move from left to right in the periodic table, and we'll see that which property occur in the period 3. Elements changes from gases to solid. Okay, so we have to look at the periodic table side by side. You know, this side of the periodic table, these are all the metals, and these are non-metals. Metals are solid normally, and here they are gases and some like bromine liquid. So now look at the property. Element changes from gases to solid. Of course not. They changes from solid to gases. So element changes from non-conductor to electrical conductor. Just we discussed that moving from left to right, it change from metal to non-metals. And metals are conductor, while non-metals are non-conductor. So it says it changes from non-conductor to the electrical conductor. Of course not, it changes from conductor to non-conductor instead. So this statement is also wrong. Element changes from metal to non-metal. Again, just look at periodic table. I told you these are the metals. On the left side, all the metals, and on the right side, they are all the non-metals. So this statement is the correct one. I believe this is our answer, but just look at the other option as well. Elements have decreasing number of the electronic shell. When we are in the same period, it means the number of shell will remain the same. So period number is equal to shell number. If something belongs to the period 3, it means all the element would have 3 shells. So this statement is also wrong. That's why the correct statement is C. Okay, so next question is question number 22. Which property decreases down group 7 of the periodic table from chlorine to iodine? Okay, so let's see. If we look at the periodic table, so this is group 7. Fluorine is most reactive. And reactivity decreases down the group. He's talking about iodide, so I will state that just here. This is least reactive. Fluorine and chlorine, they are the gases, and iodine is solid. So we can say density increases. Okay, so look at atomic number. The atomic number of fluorine is 19, and the atomic number of fluorine is 9, and the atomic number of iodine is 53. So atomic number also increases as we move down the group. Now look at our options. He's saying which property decreases. So we just have discussed that atomic number increases from 9 to 53. It is increasing. So this option is incorrect. Density, it also increases as we move down the group. So this option is also incorrect. Melting point also increases because fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, it changes from gas. This is also gas. This is the liquid and this is solid. That's why while moving down, density increases and melting point also increases. Only one thing decreases, and that is reactivity. So option C is the correct one. Question number 23. Some properties of the elements are listed. Some of the properties are being given here, and we have to choose that which property iron and lithium both have. Okay, just look at the options. So they have good electrical conductivity. Yes, both iron and lithium, they are both the metals, and metals are good conductor. That's why this option is correct. They have high melting and boiling point. Iron being transition element has high melting point, but lithium being alkali metals has low melting point. So this option is incorrect. They are malleable again. They are metals, and metals are always malleable. So this option is also correct. They have ions which with variable oxidation state. Only iron has variable oxidation state because it's a transition metal. So this statement is also incorrect. Two statements are correct, and they are 1 and 3. So the correct option is option A. Now moving towards the question number 24. Two statements about noble gases are listed. Noble gases are reactive monoatomic gases. So, noble gases are non-reactive. They are non-reactive. Yes, they are monoatomic, but half of the statement is wrong. So this statement is overall wrong. Noble gases all have the full outer shell of electrons. Yes, this statement is correct because helium has 2 valence electrons and rest of all have 8 valence electrons. So option statement 1 is wrong and statement 2 is correct. Now in the first option he is saying both statements are correct. Of course not. Both statements are correct. Of course not. Statement 1 is correct. No, according to our discussion, statement 1 is wrong. Statement 2 is correct, but statement 1 is not correct. So yes, this is the correct option. So the correct option is option D. Now the next question is question number 25. Which statement about the properties and the uses of the copper is correct? So copper, is a transition metal. So let's see. It is used in the electrical wiring, yes, and it is ductile, yes. Both of these properties are correct. I think option A is the correct option, but let's look at the other option as well. It is mixed with the tin to make the alloy brass. No, it mixed with zinc to make the alloy brass. So this option is incorrect. It is used in the overhead electrical cables because it has lower density. No, we just have discussed in the previous question that transition metal have higher density. So this option is also incorrect. It is used in takeaway food container because of the resistance to corrosion. No, it's a reactive metal. And this is a property of the aluminium instead. So this option is also incorrect. So the correct option is option A. Now move towards question number 26. Three statements about solid Z are listed. It reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to produce hydrogen. This is a property of almost all the metals. Okay. So all the metals which are above hydrogen in the reactivity series, they show this property. So I will write all the metals which are above hydrogen in reactivity series show this property. So in the given option, gold is below hydrogen, so it couldn't show this property. Silver is also below hydrogen, so it cannot react with dilute hydrochloric acid to produce hydrogen. Now we are left with option B and C. It reacts very slowly with cold water and quickly with steam. This is the property of group 2 elements. Okay. So the only group 2 element is magnesium. This is from group 2, and potassium, it is from group 1. So I believe C couldn't be the option. It is a good thermal conductor. Yes, this is the property of both group 1 and group 2. But due to this property, I believe our correct option is option B. For question number 26, the correct option is option B. Okay, now move towards question number 27. Okay, question number 27. 4 metal J, K, L, M are added separately to the aqueous solution of their ions. So the results are shown. Okay, so J can displace everything. It's mean J is most reactive. Why? Because you can see if it react with, then we have to tick this. So all the ticks are here. It's mean J is reacting with K, L, M with everything. So that's why J is more reactive. So K is not reacting with anyone except M, and L is reacting only with K and M. M is not reacting with anyone, so M is least reactive in the group. Now look at the options. J has a greater tendency to form the positive ion than K. Yes, clearly you can see J can replace K positive. That's why this option could be the correct one. L has the greater tendency to form the positive ion than J. L is not replacing J. So this is the incorrect option. K has a greater tendency to form the positive ion than L. K than L. K is not replacing L. K is not reacting with L, so it don't have the tendency to form the positive ions as compared to L. So this is again the incorrect option. M has the greater tendency to form the positive ion than K. M is least reactive. M is not reacting with anything. So M don't have the greater tendency to form the positive ion than any of the ions given. So this is also incorrect option. That's why according to our discussion, the correct option is option A. Okay. So our next question is question number 28. Which process is used in the extraction of iron from hematite? Okay. So what happens? Just recall your concept of blast furnace. Actually, we have hematite here, that is Fe2O3. It reacts with carbon monoxide, that is the reducing agent here. And what happens? Iron is being separated and carbon dioxide is formed. So clearly this is reduction. That's why the correct option is option C. Iron was in positive 3 oxidation state here and it is 0 here. So from positive 3 to 0, there is a decrease in oxidation number. So this is reduction. Okay. So for question number 28, correct option is option C. Now let's move towards question number 29. Galvanizing protect iron from rusting. Okay, just see that what happens in galvanizing. We have iron here and iron is being layered up with the zinc. This is zinc, the green one. And zinc being more reactive reacts in preference to iron. This is the whole mechanism of the galvanizing. Now let's understand the statements. Question number 4, question number 29. Galvanizing involves coating iron with silver. Not at all. We just have discussed we have to coat it with zinc instead. So this option is incorrect. If this option is incorrect, it means A couldn't be the option, B couldn't be the option. Galvanizing prevent oxygen and water from coming in contact with iron. Yes, because it is being coated with zinc on all sides. So this option seems to be the correct one. Galvanizing works because the metal coating loses electron more readily than iron. We just have discussed that iron is more, zinc is more reactive than iron. So if something is more reactive, some metal is more reactive, it means it will lose the electron more readily. So zinc will lose electron more readily as compared to iron. So this is the correct statement again. That's why our correct option is option C. Okay. Now question number 30. Nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are all essential elements for improved plant growth. Which mixture provide all three essential elements? We have to look for we have to look for nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Everything should be here. So it has nitrogen, it has phosphorus, it has potassium, so it could be the option. Now look at the next. It has nitrogen, it has phosphorus, but it don't have potassium. Now nitrogen, phosphorus, nitrogen, but no potassium. Nitrogen, nitrogen, potassium, but no phosphorus. So the correct option is option A. Okay, Ji. So next is 31 question. Question number 31. Which statement help to explain why an increasing amount of carbon dioxide or methane in the atmosphere causes global warming? Okay. So what happened during global warming? Both carbon dioxide and methane, that is a CH4, they absorb thermal energy from Earth and reflect it back to Earth. Okay? This increases the temperature of Earth and causes global warming. So this is the whole process. Now, keeping in view this whole process, carbon dioxide absorbs thermal energy from the sun. Yes. Methane does not absorb thermal energy. No, it does absorb. So carbon dioxide does not reflect. Not at all. It does reflect. Methane reflects thermal energy. Yes, it does. So the correct option for this question is option B. Question number 31, the option is B. Okay, now the next question is question number 32. The exhaust gases from the car contains oxides of nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen and oxygen from the air react together at the high temperature in the engine. Yes, this is the correct option. So no need to look at the other option because this option is correct. Next question is question number 23. The structure formula of methyl ethanoate is this. Which compounds are the structural isomers of methyl ethanoate? Okay. So first look at the formula. It has 1, 2, 3 carbon and it has 6 hydrogen and it has 2 oxygen. And what about this? It has also 1, 2 and 3 carbon, 3 and 2, 5 and 1, 6 hydrogen and 2 oxygen. Okay, this could be the answer. Next is 1, 2, 3 carbon, 5 and 6 hydrogen and 2 oxygen. Next is 1, 2 and 3 carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 hydrogen and oxygen is 2. Okay, so what are isomers? Isomers have same molecular formula but different structural formula. The arrangement of atom is different, but the molecular formula remains same. Now see, the molecular formula that is given to us in the question, that is C3H6O2. It also has C3H6O2, so this is correct. Next is also C3H6O2, so this is also correct. Next is C3H8 instead of 6. Here the H are 8. So this is not correct. So option 1 and 2 are the correct one. That's why option B is the correct one. Now move towards question number 34. What is the total number of covalent bonds in one molecule of propane? Okay, so let's write down the structure of propane. Propane is an alkane, and alkane, you know, this is an alkane. An alkane have the general formula CnH2n plus 2. So prop mean carbon 3. So carbon 3, H, 2 into 3, 6 plus 2, 8. Now let's draw the covalent bond. It has 1, 2, and 3 carbon, and hydrogen number like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hydrogen. Okay, now count the covalent bond. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 covalent bonds are here. So it's mean C is the correct option. Okay, Ji. Next is question number 35. Industrially, ethanol is produced by fermentation or by the reaction of ethene with steam. Okay, both are the processes which we use for the production of ethanol. Fermentation is a biochemical process, and it uses very low temperature, like for example 18 to 25 or maximum 37. And it is saying here that it uses a temperature of 100. No, at this high temperature, the catalyst, that is yeast, it becomes denatured. So this temperature couldn't be used. That's why option A is incorrect. Needs the presence of yeast? Yes. But ethene and steam does not need a catalyst? No. They also need catalyst, that is phosphoric acid. So this option is also incorrect. Fermentation, I just told you, it's a biochemical process, so it's a slow reaction. Yes. And it's a fast reaction. Yes, because it uses very high temperature, like 350 degrees Celsius, and catalyst is also being used, that is a concentrated phosphoric acid, so it's a fast reaction. I think option C is the correct one, but look at the option D as well. It produces a high yield of ethanol? No, because it's a slow process. It does not produce the high yield of ethanol. It produces a low yield of ethanol. And it produces a low yield of ethanol? No, it's a fast reaction. It produces the high yield of the ethanol. That's why option C is the correct one. Now move towards question number 36. Some properties of the organic compound J are listed. Okay. So it's a liquid at room temperature. Okay, so the first property says it's a liquid at room temperature. So it couldn't be alkane, it couldn't be alkene, because both of them are the gases. That's why A and B are not our options. We have to choose between alcohol and carboxylic acid, because both are liquid. Okay, it is soluble in water. Okay, this is the property of both alcohol and carboxylic acid. So I couldn't reach on a conclusion here. A solution of J react with calcium carbonate to form the carbon dioxide. This is something that is the property of acid. Property of an acid. So it's mean alcohol couldn't be the option. The correct option could be carboxylic acid. But look at the other statement. A solution J has the pH of 3. This is also the property of an acid because acids have the pH below 7. So it is confirmed that C is not our option. Instead, the correct option is option D. Okay, so next is question number 37. The structures of the two monomers that are used to make the condensation polymers are shown. Okay, so clearly you can see this is a dicarboxylic and this is diol because it has two alcoholic group, it has two carboxylic acid group. So whenever a dicarboxylic acid and diol, they form the polymer, so the linkage they form is ester linkage. We have already discussed this thing in detail in condensation polymerization. If you are confused about this topic, you can watch the video in organic chemistry series. Ester linkage is C double bond O, O. This is the ester linkage, okay? On both sides there are the carbons. So according to this, option A do not have the ester linkage. So this is incorrect. Then all of them have the ester linkage. B, C, and D, all of them have the ester linkage. So what will happen? Let me make the polymer with the help of them. What happens? This OH will be removed here, this OH will be removed from here, this H will be removed, and this H will be removed. If all of these things happen, then resultantly I would have C double bond O, C double bond O, and O, C. How many C's are here? 3 C's are here. H, H, and O. So this resulting structure that I made with the help of these two monomers, it exactly matches with our option B. So that's why the correct option is option B here. Okay, so next question is very straightforward. It's a fact. Which apparatus is used to measure 25 centimeter cube of the aqueous sodium hydroxide when we have to measure the fixed volume? When we have to measure a fixed volume like 25, so we always use pipette. That's why the correct option is D. Okay. Which method is used to obtain copper sulfate crystals from the aqueous solution of the copper sulfate? There's a mixture of copper sulfate and the water, and what we have to do, we have to dry it up. We just have to remove the water and we have to get the dry crystals of copper sulfate. So to get the dry crystals, we use evaporation. So C is the correct option. Chromatography is used for the colored liquids normally. Colorless liquid can also be separated if we use a lubricating agent. Condensation is converting liquid into solid, or gas into liquid, and filtration is to separate the insoluble solid. So these are not the correct options. Okay, so moving towards the last topic of this paper, last question of this paper. A mixture of 4 different colorless amino acids is analyzed by paper chromatography. Okay, the purpose of locating agent to give them the color. And in option A, he's saying a locating agent is not used. If a locating agent is not used, then we couldn't obtain any of the color. But out of 4 different color, we are getting 3 spots. It's mean a locating agent is being used, right? What is the purpose of the locating agent? To give color to the colorless spots. One of the amino acids is insoluble in water. Of course not, because a solvent is used depending upon the solubility of the solute. The solvent front is too near the top of the paper. No, it is far away like this. So this is not correct. 2 of the amino acids have the same RF value. Yes, this could be the option. If 2 of them have the same RF value, then they will give only 1 spot. And that's it. This paper has been completed. Thank you so much for watching. Allah Hafiz.